And so I like this a lot because it's a great way to make money literally without working. I make my stock options money while I'm laying in bed with my wife. I don't have to call anybody. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything, right? And now it's not super easy, right? You have to acquire stock to do this, right? Just like to be a landlord, you got to own property to rent it. But there's a path to that, right? And I personally think this is the most efficient direct path to income that I've ever seen, right? So I'm going to talk about why selling stock options is better than real estate, in my opinion, why selling stock options is easier than running a business, and also why selling stock options is better than just owning stock. I think owning stock is essential, but what I found in my research is that people don't just need wealth; they need income as well. So income and wealth have a partnership. So let me show you one of my real estate adventures. So this is the house we bought in Atlanta. We bought it in during the pandemic when the real estate market was on fire, and we love the house. My wife and I, the way we buy stuff is we'll just see something like our car. We did the same thing with our car. We'll just be shopping around, looking around, and then we'll see something, and we'll both look at it and say, "This is it. This is it." Right? So we did this with this house. We saw the house and we loved it, and we bought it, and we I wanted to rent it out, and it was one of my first adventures in real estate. I had some real estate before, but this is the first time we actually sought out a tenant and rented out and all this other stuff. And then maybe about a month into that journey, I got this picture sent to me where literally because there was a bill that we forgot to pay with the sump pump or something, or the electricity, the sump pump overflowed, and suddenly there's all this water damage, and that's mold. And if you know anything about mold, it's really hard to get rid of. And then also we had a neighbor where the water got into the neighbor's house, so we had to pay not just to overhaul our whole bathroom, which I think that probably cost me about $7,000 to $10,000, something like that. I had to pay for the neighbor as well. And so that really, and what happens there is, if you're collecting like 3,500 a month in rent, um, and you pay $10,000 out for one repair, that can really set you back. Anybody ever gone through that? Anybody own real estate ever seen something like that, right? So that was one of those things that made me say, maybe this isn't the best way to make money, because I would also think about some of the liability. Like I'd say, oh gosh, okay, what if the carbon monoxide detector isn't working and somebody dies in that house? We could lose everything, right? Just stuff like that would go through my head and would keep me up at night. And so my first epiphany was that I found that I could take that same amount of money I spent on that house, buy shares of stock, and not just make more money than I was making on that property, but also I could do it with more peace of mind. Does that make sense? Let me know if you get that. I'm not asking you to agree. I'm asking you to consider what I'm saying, and if the logic is adding up. Okay. Sometimes I talk fast. This stuff is really interesting to me, so sometimes I'll talk extra fast. That's why I repeat myself, and I hope that that's okay. All right. So my annual ROI on real estate, when I did the calculation, was, let's say, 10% a year, something like that, not including things like busted toilets and stuff like that. My annual ROI on stock options was much higher. It's about 60%, right? So my income cash flow kind of scenario was so much better. And so I just found that stock options were just a far better way to make money than owning property. And I say this carefully because I know a lot of you love real estate, and I do too. I own property. I still do. Real estate's great for diversification. I don't consider it to be the best option for generating cash flow. Okay. So moving on. Uh, Starting a business. Okay. A lot of us, once we graduate, first we start off with the essentials, right? Go to school and get a good job. Then we get a little bit older for a lot of us, and we have somebody say, well, you should have your own business. And I believe in business ownership. I think that's really important. But there's obstacles.